Hello everybody. Having some technical difficulties here. Let me go get this posted. Let me go get it posted. Come on. It's really fighting me today. All of a sudden for no reason whatsoever. Let me go post this on our website. Website's jollyrogerukulele.com. Today we're playing the hardest version of Frère Jacques that I think I've ever written. and then our new arpeggios. So we've got that work to do. So we're going to be plucking like crazy today. Let me open this in a new window, update and update. And I tell you guys all the time we play ukulele the hard way. We're really going to play it the hard way today. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. You'll see. And let me go put this over on Twitter as well. //jollyrogerukulele.com. Pops up. Tweet. And there's that. And get rid of that. And get rid of that. Let's see. And so today we will start with the jumping Flea arpeggios, and then we will move on into Frère Jacques. Ennuyeuse is how Google. You press the little speaker on the translation thing that says, "Hear this word," and it says ennuyeuse. Ennui is ennui, right? It's boring. Ennui. Ugh. It's a good crossword puzzle word. Ennui. We spell it E-N-N-U-I in English for ennui, meaning boring, and for boring is ennuyeuse. In French, I used to call it doloreux, but then I couldn't figure out what the heck doloreux meant. I didn't like that. I don't even know what that means anymore. So I think it was exciting or thrilling or something, but apparently I was misspelling it because Google doesn't know what I'm talking about anymore. So we changed it to ennuyeuse, and that's the Frère Jacques we'll play today. On the arpeggio today. I made just enough changes from the first edition to make it a little bit, I don't know, I don't think it made it any harder to play. I did make it what I think is a little bit more interesting, and so we're going to find out. Grab your C Minor Arpeggio, posted this morning. We'll see how many mistakes I made on it, but I think it's pretty dramatic. So hopefully you'll like it. Sandy made it in. Sound is good. Her weather is terrible, by the way. Bruce in Virginia, sunny and 83. Holy Moses, that's like summertime, Bruce. Good day for you out there. Vic, sound sunny up in Eugene. Not getting towards summer. It'll be sunny a lot up in Eugene. You should take a vacation there. I've been there in the summer. It's great. I've been there in the winter, and I wanted to. I got paranoid, and I thought robots were going to come through the fog and kill me. So between the two, Eugene's all right. Elizabeth is in. Good afternoon. Things are drying out up north. Still pretty cloudy here in Denver. I guess it's a little brighter than it was earlier. Overcast, 56 degrees down there in Rio Rancho. Linda in from California. Sound is good. Is there a fan running? Yeah, the humidifier just turned off. That's good that the microphones are picking that up. That tells you I got my fancy microphone set. I got one bigger mic here, for your voice, and then a smaller mic here for the instruments, and so that means it's working. And that's exciting. Jerry's in. Hey, Jerry. Fran in. Annie is in. Linda is in from Colorado Springs. Linda in from Hawaii. You're looking way more with I thought I was with it yesterday, but everybody's coming in today going, "Oh, I'm glad you made it through the night." Apparently I looked like a bus hit me. Vicky, oh my gosh, where have you been? Been traveling. Okay. All right. So glad you're back, Vicky. We've been missing you. Carol, snowed earlier today. Now it's raining and gloomy up in Nathrop. Just so you know, don't feel too bad for Carol. She lives up in the highlands of Colorado. A bad day up there is a better day than most places. Jack and Barbara in dreary Glenview. Hey, Jack. Good to see you guys. Rita, hello, in from Illinois. Dreary Glen Blue. I know. I heard yesterday that it was really nice in Chicago, and then today it's really terrible. Diane, I thought it means annoying. It might have been annoying. I think it probably was annoying. Annoying for Jacques. Now it's just boring. You're probably right, Diane. Evelyn, 66 degrees, sunny. The sun came out. I'm thrilled to try out these new songs. They're fun songs. They're gonna take a little bit of work. Jacqueline, good to see you. Patricia, did you like Charlie? I did. I'd actually heard it before, Patricia. After I listened to it, I was like, oh yeah, I've heard that song before. And Red is in. I don't think we did that one yesterday. Vicky, sunny and 60 up in Bozeman. Beautiful day in Bozeman. 77 at 12:09, and up in Northern California. So that was pretty good. Valerie, my hand's looking at. She's just, my hand's just looking at Frère Jacques. I think what she means is my hands are scared or my hands hurt just looking at it. It'll be fine. You'll see. And Clay's in. Good job. Hey, C Minor Arpeggio for ukulele. Let's grab it. Let's talk about a few things. Number one, in the first edition, I had this, you play the first page twice and the second page twice. And then I realized I love the first page a lot. So we're going to do it. So I changed the repeats. How the repeats work now, you play down through measure 22, come back to measure 1. Then you play all the way down to measure 41, and then you come all the way back to measure 1. And then the third time you play the top part, when you get to 22, you see the coda there. The coda, the third time you come through, that coda will direct you to the end of the song at 42. So in other words, we're going to play the front page 3 times, the second page once, and then at the end of the third time of the front page, you'll jump to the end. So that's what the DSL coda means. If you go down to 41, and first, most of you guys know these at this point, but not everybody. DS means de segno. When you get down to that repeat at 41, you find the segno, and the segno's hanging out up there at measure 1. So you go de segno and then al coda, play from the segno to the coda. The coda is sitting at 22, and then the codas come in match sets. So wherever the first coda is, you go find the second coda, and that's measure 42. When you're learning to read repeats, that's one of those things that takes a little while because you just keep hoping they'll go away. But it gets much more complicated and weird. Not so much in classical music, because in classical music, they just add extra pages and you'll end up with these really long songs and 27 pages and all that. But in pop music, like if you go get a book about the Beatles, there will be codas and segnos and first endings and second endings and all this stuff all over because they're trying to save pages. So you got to get kind of good at reading this stuff so that it becomes a little bit second nature. Let's see. Carol says, I'm very lucky to live in that country. Very lucky. And Linda made it in from Toronto, or not Toronto, Vancouver. Good to see you, Linda. Okay, so that's the first thing. Get the repeats right. Basically, the page 1 3 times, page 2 1 time. Next, the little carrots. We've run into those before. Those mean emphasize that note. Okay, so you hear that. It's different than long, short, short, which would be. So that would be long and short. But when you see a caret, it means that first one should be emphasized and the next two less emphasized. And so that's what you're going to get there. Is bum, 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 bum. That's what's going on there. Then you go down to measure 3. Bum, 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 bum. Oops, sorry. 6, 6, 6. Okay, so if you can get those emphasized chords, it will sound pretty cool. Bum, 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 bum. And that's what we're working on there. So let's play down through. Well, let's just play this first page, and we'll see if I made any mistakes. I feel pretty solid about it. From the top, 1, and let's play it much slower than you're supposed to. 1, 2, 3. on this one, guys, you can grab the full F minor. I would say probably a lot of work for nothing. I'm probably just going to grab the 1 and the 3. I don't think holding down the 1 on that top string is going to do you much good. So I'd probably just grab the 1 and 3. I just do the tab rather than the full chord. Obviously, if you're an accompaniment, if you're playing a baritone right now, you're playing the full F minor chord. But from a melody perspective, I have not found. I keep grabbing 1 and 3. Well, maybe because I'm lazy. But if you grab the full chord, it can't hurt, right? But I'm not positive it's necessary. So do that. From 11, 1, 2, 3. A couple of things here. One, you're actually playing a B diminished, but every time I play it, I come around, I see 2, 1, 2, and I'm like, that's a D7 or G7 for you guys, G7. But it's really in the context of the piece of music. You're in C minor. There's not going to be any normal chords in C minor, so you're really playing a B diminished. And because I see in this immediate vicinity, I see a RIT, that means ritardando, which means slow it down. And at the end of that measure, I see a fermata sitting there. My thought is, I'm going to take it, I'm going to put the brakes on through 21 and 22. So instead of what I played, what I should be playing is, let that ring for a minute, and then let's go back to the measure 1 and just go from there. Ready? Play. Now, next thing that happens, we've been in 3/4 the whole time. Now we switch to 4/4, and notice lots of other things happen here too. It says a tempo. That means you're going to want to pick up the pace again. 21 and 22, we slow down at a tempo, then we pick up the pace, and then you got these crazy, ridiculous chord strummy things, right? So from first edition, I switched them from first edition to second edition. So the little block ones now mean down, and the little V ones mean up. And we did this in, I can't remember which one of the previous ones. Down, down, up, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down, up, down. Those of you guys that go to your ukulele strum-alongs, you're like, oh, finally, I'm in heaven, right? Down, down, up, down, up, down. That's who we are as ukulele players. It is our home base, okay? And it's every time I see that, I'm like, ah. That's what they meant. All right, here we go. And by the way, we're going to be doing a little bit of a bar chord, wandering around bar chords the rest of this song, and it's really, really good for you to begin to picture how things work together. So we got C minor. Let's do 2 of those. Ready? Play. Down, down, up, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down, up, down. Now don't move anything. When you just add now. Take a look at what you got on here, really. You really have an A minor with a bar, right? Your bar is on 3, and then you have this A minor shape up in front of you. Now, if you remember, when you play A minor, it's pretty normal for an F chord to be hanging around with an A minor, right? Well, that's all you're doing here. It's an A flat because your bar on 3, but That's just an F shape in front of it, right? That's all we're doing, is putting an F chord down with an A minor and an F. So those things that make sense from a shapes perspective, okay? So grab your A flat. Let's do down, down, up, down, up, down again. Ready? Play. Okay, now, again, don't pick anything up. We've done this a lot, so just slide up to 5. Okay, same shape. Okay, and now you know that this all goes together. That makes sense, because if this was an F and you slide it up here, it's a G. That always goes with F, right? F and G hang out together. But because of the bar, it's a B flat. Let's play those. Ready? Go. And then this sounds pretty cool. You slide right back down to the bar 3. Take your middle finger off, and you got a C minor. This is where you have to pay attention a little bit. Notice all of a sudden you're like, oh, all we're doing is sliding that F chord around. We're using a bar, but now we're going to go down to a G chord. But what changes is the strum pattern changes. Now instead of down, down, up, down, you have down, 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 down. And my tendency is that if I've been playing down, down, up, down, when I get to that, I'm going to go down, 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 down. Right, I'm going to play it too fast. So just give yourself, make sure you do all quarter notes from there. So grab your G chord. Not unimportant. We've talked about it before. You had a bar and an F shape. That's a G chord. You know this G chord. You're like, that's the G chord. Really, it's just an F chord with a bar up here. We don't normally have to hold this down because we don't normally have this in the way, right? We normally have this as our G chord. But what you're really playing is an F chord on 2. Okay, and then remember quarter notes. So these are all down. You'll do that, and then you'll slide up one more to the A flat. So ready, play. And then at 33, you just lift up your middle finger to get the C minor. You got the glissando and a ritardando, so that means make it drama, right? I feel like that's Elizabeth will do that sometimes when she's playing for me. She'll do these. These great big strums. I love it. Right? Drama. All right. So just okay. Okay, that's it. Then you can see very clearly something happens at 34. It all goes back to open shapes again. So grab your C minor open, pluck, and then pluck some more. You're in your claw shape. Ready? And a tempo, you only slow down for 33. So, right, clearly, drama, drama. And then 34, we pick up a tempo. Ready, play. Now, DSL coda means go to wherever the senio is and play to the coda. So we're going to go back to the top again. Let's go there. Okay, grab to the top, and we're going to play down through 22. Ready, play. Oops, sorry. Still ritardando, slow it down. And then you jump all the way to 42, still a B diminished. And then a full C minor. Okay, so it's all drama, 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 and then you come in, load it, and load out, well, on that B diminished sound. Diminished chords on the ukulele are the greatest thing ever. One of the other things I was thinking about is because I taught the foundations class today, the G Major Arpeggio, and it was fascinating to me because I was teaching myself to play ukulele by writing these, because back in the day there weren't any books there still aren't any books hardly, but I noticed after working on this morning and then teaching them the G Major, I'm like, boy, I got where I was playing okay. I was starting to figure out how all this stuff works together and how the pieces and parts are just all related. You just got to get comfy with your fretboard, and how much better and more interesting this song is than that other song, just because I had gotten a lot more familiarity with the songwriting and with the ukulele in particular. And so at this point, I feel like, man, I'm starting to find my stride. I'm starting to find my voice. And I have 20 more not 20, 18 more of these to write. I've got this. I've got this instrument, and it's very exciting. I think that's why I think for those of you guys that are wanting to just master this thing, these first 10 arpeggios are pretty good, right? They're a pretty big deal. They'll really help you get your feet and your comfort level around the instrument. Marianne made it in from Michigan, and Kat also made it in very late. Like I'm feeling, yeah, I'm feeling better. All right, so that's that. I'm going to let you spend some time on that on your own. I don't see any mistakes in there. I think it's exactly what I want, and I think that your focus on this is kind of mysterious, kind of dramatic, kind of a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I feel like, boy, if you could put that whole thing together, you'll have a really pretty cool instrumental. And I will follow that thought up with, it's really been on my mind. One of my students says, do you know where I can find any classical baritone music? And I think every single thing we do is classical. Every single thing that I do is designed around this thought process of using all of your tool set. And I think when you are taking a piece of music like this, that is 100%. It's not a classical piece. Beethoven didn't write it, if that's what you mean by classical. But in terms of the approach that we take to this, it's all 100% based on typical standard classical guitar approach. G, that's not right. G, D, G, B, E, D, G. Can you tell I changed strings on these yesterday? They all sound, when I change people's strings, I always hand it to them. I say, now, you're going to think I broke your ukulele. It's going to sound terrible for the next week. And right now I'm having to take my own medicine. I changed these strings, and I'm pretty sure I broke these ukuleles. They sound ridiculous. All right. So, anyway, when you approach a piece of music like this, where you're using all of the skill set and all of these complicated stuff, and all this stuff is working out together, and all these chords, there's a lot of chords in this piece of music, but they all work together, you know that you're a classical musician. And so don't be confused about what you're doing here. You're working at the high level, working at the hard stuff, and on Monday nights we're doing jazz. Are you kidding me? That's even higher level. I want to run through this G minor baritone just to make sure I don't have no typos snuck in. They always sneak in on the baritones for some reason. And so let's play it through on baritone. Ukulele players, these are tough ones, right? Do you know your G minor? Do you know G minor? You should probably know D minor 7. You know that one. Do you know C minor? Do you know what are the other ones? F sharp dim. I don't know, somewhere up here, right? And of course, when you are on accompaniment, you don't need to do the fancy advanced ones. If you know this E flat, you're fine with that E flat. If you're not sure, you don't need to do the fancier ones up the neck. Just do the open ones. Like on baritone, there's the F chord they got to deal with, or this F chord is what they're going to be playing. You just on ukulele, you just play your plain old lovely F chord, and it'll sound better. So when you're on accompaniment, you usually are going to play your open position chords, and when you're on lead, you're going to play the fancy chords. So, okay. Elizabeth says, this is totally different and longer. It's a little longer. It's not that much different. It's a little different. Elizabeth has been through the book several times. She's really my arpeggio testing person. So the repeats are different for sure. Linda, we like you being on the journey. Sure, different baritone today. Oh yeah, this is I was managed to get in a bunch of B stock baritones from Ohana, and I'm stringing them all up and playing them and trying to figure out if there's anything wrong with them. And so far, the only thing, you know how every instrument you need to noodle with them a little bit and get them right. This thing, if I was a normal ukulele player, this thing would be perfect. It does have a very slight variation in the color here, but because of that little variation, I don't even know if you can see it. This baritone is like a third off. Like it's so I'm playing it, getting it set up for somebody to buy, and well, hopefully somebody will come buy it. And right now, the only thing that I know is that I got to raise up the bridge, just the saddle. Guys know the bridge is the whole contraption. The saddle is what your strings ride on. That's how I remember it. And there's a tendency among players to have a very, very low action because they want this to be soft and easy. The problem is if your action is too low, then you get string buzz, which is what this instrument's doing right at the moment. So then you need to raise the bridge up. And unfortunately, when they come and it's too low, then I got to replace the whole bridge or shim them up or do all sorts of weird stuff with them. So I'm going to try to strum it quietly and carefully so it doesn't buzz a ton, but it's going to buzz enough. But yeah, so this isn't it pretty? I think these are my favorite baritones right now. These solid mahogany baritones. I just think they're beautiful. All right, from the top. 1, 2, 3. the drama. Not bad, Gary. Not bad. There you go. That should be fun to work on. That's a lot, right? And your bars or your bar chords. Most of you guys probably getting pretty tough here, right? These days, we're having a normal amount of crazy going on. In all of our songs, where your bar chords are probably starting to be like, yeah, I got this. Let's go grab Frère Jacques Ennuyeuse. Let's do the ukulele version of it. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. Welcome in. Yeah, thanks. I am feeling better. I must have looked terrible yesterday. Sorry about that. If you were in Denver, I'd give it a home. I know. The problem is, guys, once you factor in shipping, it's ridiculous. I can't send you these instruments here because the shipping's like $80 to $100, and you're just like, that's crazy, you know. So if you're ever coming through Denver and you want to talk, all right, Frère Jacques Ennuyeuse. The only reason this is, remember back in the day, we were talking about how to create something from nothing, and it's always about using arpeggio picking in association with the chord. And every time I want to sound fancy, when we learn, right, somewhere over the rainbow way up high, right? That's what we learn, right? And if you want to sound fancy, all you do is arpeggio pick it. Somewhere over the rainbow way up high, right? All of a sudden, people are like, "Boy, you really know how to play the ukulele." That's it. All you're doing is arpeggio pick. Same exact chords, same exact words, same exact pace. You just arpeggio pick it, and all of a sudden you're something. And so you want to use that to your advantage. I'm offering you the keys to the kingdom, the secret to all awesome music. That's why we put this together initially, was to take a very simple song and then see how much we could add to it. What's fascinating about this, now that I wanted to make one for the baritone and kind of put it back up here, is how stinking hard I made this. And it's really hard. And so let's go through it and talk about it. Now remember, all of you have been through day one with me, right? You've all had to deal with me and Frère Jacques and this obsession I have with it. In fact, today as I was putting this together, Donna says, she comes out of the bedroom, "Why are you playing that again?" I says, "I'm getting it ready for advanced class." She says, "Why?" You could just see her flabbergasted. Like, what in the world is it with you and Frère Jacques? The main reason it works is because you've got one chord, right? And the dang thing is all over your fretboard. So you've got to use all these other skills to make this thing work. The other thing you'll remember when you first got this was it's 0-2-4, 0-2-4, and you're thinking, okay, I think I'm going to be able to play ukulele this way. It's going to be great. 4-5-7. 4-5-7, and then all of a sudden the wheels come off. 7-9-7-5-4-0, 7-9-7-5-4-0, and you're like, that's it. I'm going to take out bagpipes, right? Because it's hard to play 7-9-7-5-4-0. Well, what happens in this arrangement, that's actually the easy part to play because it's so much slower than the rest of it, what you're doing. The other thing I want to point out on this, those of you who are committed to standard notation and classical music, is that in classical guitar, for example, they don't give you the tablature, right? So get rid of that. And they don't give you the chords. Get rid of that. And then when you look at that single line of chords and lyrics, the standard notation, look at how much work there is to do to figure out what the variation between each of these moments is. And the chord is busy plonking away underneath there, but then the melody is busy bopping along on the top, plus there's all this other extra stuff in there. And it looks like, and it's 16th notes, and you're like, I am really something. I am playing amazing stuff, right? And in classical music, we don't give you any of the aids to make this easier. It's just hard to do. And the point of this is to play the music, in my opinion, not to read the music. The point is to make this easy on you. So we have tools in the tablature world that make this way, way simpler. And you can look through the tablature and like, oh yeah, I see exactly what's going on. It's so much faster to learn the song that way. I'm not against standard notation in and of itself, but I do know that it is generally used as a way to make things harder so that we can get rid of the slackers and only the committed people are playing it. And there's a word for that is not very flattering, right? And so what we want to do is use all the tools and resources. I put that standard notation just up there so you'll know, like, you're playing a lot of music here, and it would be super hard if that's all I gave it to you. But because we have all these other tools, this isn't too bad. Notice you have your carets here, and the carets are all sitting above the melody notes, and everything else on here is just extra decoration. Okay, so you've got your A chord, bam, and then you, oh God, where's my tuner? I broke this ukulele by changing the strings. This was a good ukulele. I'm gonna have to throw it in the trash can now. Gary ruined it. I'm sure it's the strings. That's the problem. It's the wrong string. Okay. I've heard all that. I've seen that stuff on Amazon. People get a ukulele. This thing is terrible. It's not in tune. It won't stay in tune. And you're like, yes, because it's brand new. A chord, plunk. Okay? That should be louder and more aggressive than 101. Your 2, plunk, and then 4, and leave your 2 down, right? Because you want that to ring as long as possible. Hit the 4, and then off. Again. Now, if you play your accompaniment notes, the do, 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 too loud, people will be confused of what song you're playing. So you want to make sure that those chords are definitely louder than the others. And you also want to make sure that this top string is not getting short shrift. So if you were doing it with strums, you would definitely hear that one louder. It's not written that way, but you could do that. But the exercise here is to make sure that your ring finger, your dumbest finger that you're having to use here, is doing the most important work. That's where the melody's coming out of, is your ring finger. Okay, so just be aware of that. Then we go on measure 3. Well, it's still an A chord, but look what happens, guys. Because the melody moves up the neck, you've got to move your A chord up the neck, and all of a sudden now you're facing this chord. Again, same as we'd already talked about. F chord, put on the bar, becomes an F sharp, becomes a G, G sharp, A. Ah. Okay? And again, if you're strumming down, you'll be fine. That's why so much of the work that I do in arranging is about with your thumb, because for most players, if you do that, boy, you can hear that melody note clear as a bell. But if you're going to use your claw, you've got to get your ring finger going well. So do that. Let's talk a little bit about the arrangement here and why it's way harder than you would think. Okay, so you've got your A chord and you go plunk, bar, 5, 4. Here's the problem. The next melody note is right here. Okay, and you're going to run out of fingers. You can't hold that one down, and this one down. Right? That's what's really going on in this song. So you don't do that, right? Now your middle finger's got to grab the melody note, then you hit that 4, and then it's got to get back up to the other 5 to keep the arpeggio moving, because we want those decorative notes to all be the same so they don't get in the way of the melody. But boy, you got to get that high 5 with your middle finger and then get back by the time the next arpeggio note comes by. So probably when you're thinking about how fast should I play this song, how fast can you get from this 5 to this 5? That's probably how fast you can play the song. Probably. Okay, we're on 16th notes. It's set for 60, right? That's super crazy slow, but you can only, ukulele, if you set any higher than that, you're going to fail on your 16th notes. And so usually you play these songs with 16th notes in them pretty slow pace, and getting it clean is going to require you to get from that 5 to that 5. Doesn't seem like much, but you'll see as you're working on it, as you're like, oh my gosh, that takes a lot more work, which is exciting. This is the level that you're working at playing where you're at, is talking about getting this middle finger from there to there in proper timing. That's pretty high level stuff, guys. This is what we would be talking about with private lessons, with high level players. We talk about that sort of stuff all of the time. That and what story are you trying to tell, man? What do you really mean here? And so be excited that is something that we stop to really debate, you know. And then I find it challenging to get to my 7 on. That is tough going there, guys. Then, what's exciting is you've been playing all these 16th notes. Now these 8th notes feel like you're going to put the brake on, okay? And you've got to pay attention to that if you're going to get this right. Is then now you're going to go, and then you got to strum here. Here again, you're using all of your skills. Just clean melody. You want this melody to be clean, and you don't want it to be fast. You're going to get your A chord on here and a nice, beautiful down strum. And then don't fall asleep, because you're going to use the other A chord for the lower down. Okay? And then, and Reed is asking an important question. I knew this was going to come up. How about squishing the middle finger down and then up? You could do that. Here's why I don't teach that. Okay, you can do because she's still focusing in on this 5, right? So we're dealing with. You could, if you're double jointed, squish this guy down, cover both of those. Okay, I don't teach it because a lot of people are not double jointed. I don't hand out any music ever that requires you to be double jointed. Principally because I'm not, and I just think it's like in harmonica you're supposed to teach tongue blocking, which requires your tongue to do this round thing. A lot of people they don't have whatever gene is in their body that allows them to do that. So what is the point of teaching harmonica to some of the people who can make that their tongue do that round thing? A lot of people don't have that they can't do it. And so, you know, like, I'm not teaching something people can't do. And same thing with ukulele, and with lots and lots of players come in and they'll do D chord and they'll raise this up and then do this thing. Right? And you see that online all the time with guys doing, this is how you do a D chord. Well, a lot of people don't have any double jointedness in there, and especially as you get older and arthritis starts to set in and your hands are like this all of the time. So Rita, if you can do it, heck yeah, knock it out. If you can't do it, just move your middle finger around. Okay? Then finally, very exciting, major 7. Okay? You're back to 8th notes, and you're back to the A here. Ding, dang, dong. Okay, and the previous version of this I had bump, 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 and I think it didn't sound that cool. So then I put in our quick strums, which will make it, those of you guys that are strummers, you'll like that. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, and then at the end, the only thing that's different on major 9 is you just go right and let it ring. Man, you got the fermata above there. All right, let's see. Christine says, Frère Jacques annoying. I think it should be Ennuyeuse. Google said it was feminine, so I went with feminine, even though Frère Jacques is a boy. I thought it was funnier to have it Ennuyeuse. I know. Don't bring your French grammar in here. It's not good. Annoying was pronouncing it. Ennuyeuse, right? Become very French, you guys. All right, from the top, 2 times through. Then we'll do the baritone version. Well, we don't have time to do the baritone version. Baritones, you know what you're supposed to do. Same thing as the ukulele version. Baritones, right now, you grab your A chord. Frère, Jacques. That's it. That's all we need out of you. Okay? We run the top. 1, 2. Oh, that's too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Donna just looked at it. She's all mad. Last time through. No, really, we're doing this. So that's bookending, right? So if you take where you started with 0, 2, 4, 0, and you come all the way here, and you're like, I see what he's up to. I could do that. I'm not going to because it's stupid, but I could do that. Then you know, look at the arc of your skill set that we put in place to play something like that. That's got everything in it, and one chord. Right? That's a whole lot of music for one chord. All right, guys, tomorrow, I don't know what we're playing. I got to go write it tonight. So whatever shows up on there shows up on there. It's been a little bit of a crazy week. We're getting pretty close to having that book 2 page clear. And so, again, we're just throwing the kitchen sink at you this week, trying to get some of that stuff cleaned up and ready for it for us to move on to, Neil Diamond and Elton John and Joni Mitchell and all that stuff that we'll be doing, or whatever. Who knows what we're doing next? And so there you go. That's all I know. Have a wonderful day. Thank you all for being here and putting up with me. And Donna is over there going, I can't believe he's teaching Frère Jacques again. I don't know. She wants to shoot me some days. All right, let's get everybody out of here. Where did I leave off? This is the grand finale, maybe, of the intro, right? And could I put the IMs on eighth notes? Yeah, put your IMs on it. Put the IMs in, man. Yeah, heck yeah. Good idea, Elizabeth. Hasta mañana, Evelyn. Evelyn's like, I don't know. I'm out of here. Thanks, everyone. Y'all sound great. Thanks. See, Critter, good to see ya. All right, I'm going to pull the plug. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Peace. There it is.